Magyar szólások és közmondások angolul beszélőknek.
Hungarian sayings and proverbs for English speakers. Black or white?
Ritka, mint a fekete hattyú.
So let's take this apart. Ritka means rare or scarce. Hattyú is a swan. And fekete is black. So word by word, rare as the black swan. Rare as a black swan is how we'd probably say it in English. So what colour should swans be? Fehér, white. We don't call them white swans in English, but rather mute swans, which is a bit of a misnomer because they do actually have a voice. When I first published this on Facebook, several Hungarians contacted me and said they'd never heard of this saying. Rather, they had heard Ritka meant a fehér holló. But Ritka meant a fekete hattyú is in the book. It's marked as ismét, neither uncommon nor a very common thing. It's sort of in the middle. And Ritka meant a fehér holló is also in the book, and it is indeed a more common saying. So what does it mean? We already know Ritka and we know fehér. So it will be something like rare as a white something, and the something is a raven. You can also put the two together, and this one is marked as uncommon. Fehér holló, fekete hattyú, az igaz barát. And igaz barát is a true friend. So this means a true friend is a white raven or a black swan. That is something that is very rare. The irony is the saying about the black swans was actually first told to me by a Hungarian travelling in New Zealand. Travelling past the ponds near my place, he spotted flocks of black swans and no white ones. Here in New Zealand, the Australian black swan is very common, even a pest, while the mute swan is limited to less than 100 birds in the wild and a few in parks. So here's the New Zealand swan, actually the Australian swan, and here's the one that's more common in Europe. Additional vocab, let's look at colours. We've already got black and white. Piros, red. Narancs, orange. Sárga, yellow. Zöld, green. Kék, blue. Lila, purple. And we put them all together, we get szivárvány, a rainbow. Another important colour is vörös. Now we already have piros, which is red. Vörös is also red, but a blood red. It's most commonly used for wine and blood. If you do look at some older Hungarian, especially folk songs, you'll see that they often talk about pirosbor. But the more sophisticated word is virosbor. And believe it or not, you also use viros with hare and cabbages. In most cases, like in English, the adjective is before the noun. So we say fehér hattyú. And in most cases, the adjective doesn't change. If you're new to languages, you might think, what? But most Indo-European languages, the adjective will actually match the noun. So we can say fekete hattyú or fekete hattyúk. One swan, several swans, doesn't make any difference. We use the same version of the adjective. The exception is when the verb to be and the adjective form what's known as a predicate. In this case, the adjective must match the subject. So, what was the swan like? Or what were the swans like? The swan was black. The swans were black. You'll see in this case it hasn't changed, but neither has the hattyú. Here the adjective has actually matched the noun. So in Hungarian we add a K for a plural, and so both the noun and the adjective have the K on it. I'll do more on plurals in another video. Let's try another one. You would have seen the letters TY, and you'll probably be wondering why I haven't been saying hattyú. That is because the TY is a single letter and a single sound in Hungarian. So if you're looking it up in the dictionary, the TY actually has its own entry. In IPA language, it's a T with a little J on it. It's what they say is a palatalized T. Now we have these in English. If you think of the word studio, that studio, or tuna. So what you're actually doing is you're putting your tongue up against the roof of your mouth. So the point A on the diagram goes to point B, and the bulk of your tongue actually goes right up to C. There's a good video on this, and I will link it in the description. The other thing to note is that the TTY is actually TYTY, and that is normal for letters that actually have more than one character in them. So you actually have to pronounce both. This is one area of my Hungarian pronunciation which is a bit sloppy. I get a bit lazy, see two letters the same and think, oh, I'll just say it once. But you've actually got to draw it out. So it's hattyú, hattyú. So NY is another double letter which only has one sound. It's a ny. And for example, you have köny, which means a tear. And s, the s in Hungarian is actually SZ. So asszony, a woman. Strictly a married woman, but you can use it just for a woman in most cases. So there we have it.
Ritka, mint a fekete hattyú.
And here are some of my other videos that you may be interested in. See ya!